Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Katmia.
Welcome to the This and That Chat.
Guess what day it is?
What day?
You don't know what today is?
Today is the umpteenth of the umpteenth.
Wow. You're completely disconnected. Today is June 1st.
June 1st. Okay.
What's June 1st? Dun 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 dun.
You finished anatomy.
Stop it. You know that I'm like right in the middle of it.
Oh.
Finals. That's not what it is. It's the official start of hurricane season. Dun 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 dun.
Yay.
What does that actually mean for Floridians? Wait, that means that today you can go out to Publix, if that's where you do your shopping, and you can pick up WSVN 7 Hurricane Readiness Guide 2021. Don't get blown away.
Did you get hired and I didn't know?
Don't you know
how much are we getting paid for this?
Listen, this is what they put out on the first day of hurricane season. You can go pick up your guide.
I'm sure it's been out there for a couple weeks already.
I don't think so. I find it always on the first, but maybe.
Yeah.
But
is that only at Publix?
I think so. I've never seen it at Walmart. I don't think I've ever seen it at Winn-Dixie.
No, I for sure haven't.
And maybe Publix is like a sponsor of WSVN 7.
Possibly.
Could be. But I was thinking, right, a lot of things with this. But here are the things I'm thinking. What does that actually mean for Floridians? Getting prepared for a hurricane, right? B, do people prefer a certain station over another to get their weather news or hurricane tracking, right? And C, we'll see when we get there. Okay, go. So do you want to start with A? I lost my train of thought there.
What was A again?
What does this mean for Floridians? Like, I wonder.
Well, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Right.
So I've always said that there are certain level of Floridians.
I agree.
So it's like depending on.
You got your people who are from Florida.
From Florida. So okay, so.
Why do they say it like that?
Who knows? So here's how I separate Floridians.
Okay.
It's kind of like a badge that you get.
Okay.
However many hurricanes you've been through.
Okay.
And what category hurricanes you've been through.
Interesting.
Do you not agree, though?
Ooh, that actually might be a nice poll. But we didn't think about this, so we'll have to do it for next week.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. What category Floridian are you? Interesting.
Oh, it's like a category hurricane, category Floridian.
Right. Yeah, no pun intended.
We are going to go ahead and get copyrights on that, so no one. So the way I look at it is,
all right.
If you were here for Andrew, you're like top dog.
You're OG.
Yeah.
You're OG if you were here for Andrew.
Yeah. Like, listen, you survived. You survived Andrew. You've got some stories.
Yeah.
People look at you and you're like, that guy made it through Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, you're OG. That's how I see it.
Yep. And then I would say so that's like a level 5 Floridian.
Wait, how many levels are there? I thought there was like
5.
3.
No, there's 5 hurricane levels.
Oh, gosh.
No?
I don't know. We'll hear all your levels.
Okay. So level 4, I'm making this up as I go. So
no,
give me a second.
3 levels.
No, there's 4. There's 5.
Oh,
so
gosh.
level 5, right? You've made it through Andrew. Level 4 is you've been through a few category 3s. You know, you've been through some.
You went through Wilma.
You went through. No, you went through.
God, people who complain about Wilma. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but anybody who complains about Wilma. Listen.
This is coming from a Category 5.
Yeah, okay.
Floridian.
But I'm just saying, you complain about Wilma. There was zero. It doesn't compare.
So why would you say Wilma then?
Because Wilma was the big one. We were without power for a little while, okay? And that's the biggest complaint from people is that, and here's the other thing. Let us not forget. Are these kind of Floridians on your list? The ones who hoard everything and go absolutely mad? Or is that just like not even in the category?
Well, it is. That's Category 3, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
So a Category 3 is, there's no other way to say it, but el exagerado.
Okay.
Okay.
But
that
I
means
want to say
that's the Floridian who, because the news said, like this just happened a few weeks back, because the news said that there was a pipeline interruption.
Oh.
They were using
was a couple weeks ago,
plastic
yes.
bags to fill up gas.
No, they were not.
Plastic bags.
No. Plastic
bags. There was a picture of a lady who went to the gas station with a clothes hamper to fill it with gas. Let that sink in. What does a clothes hamper have?
Holes.
Oh, yes. There is a picture, and it's not photoshopped. It's real life. She was putting gas.
Why?
Because that's how they are.
But you can't even make it anywhere with that.
No, I don't think she thought that one through.
Clearly.
Yeah. So the hoarders, the ones that go running and they like go empty out the shelves.
Yeah, but I want to disagree with you on that.
Okay, why?
Because I definitely am going to exclude the level 5s from this. The level 5s look down on those people. I just want to say, okay? Totally judging here. Okay. But I'm saying, I think that there are multiple categories that could fit into that. Because I think I can already hear it. Like the people who are like, oh my God, didn't you hear what happened with Andrew? Hoarders. Look at the toilet paper.
Yeah. But hold on. But that's why I'm saying those are the level 3s.
Okay, we'll just call them level 3s.
Okay.
Even though anybody could actually fall into that madness.
Yeah. But they don't deserve a level 4 and they don't deserve a level 5. So they just they cap off at level 3.
Okay, that's good. That's good to say it that way.
Right. Then there are level 2s.
Okay.
Level 2s are the Floridians that moved down to Florida. Okay.
Okay.
Sometime after Andrew and
after Wilma,
and they really haven't had experience with hurricanes.
Wait, they lived through Irma.
The passing of Irma. Yes. So
but not in the Keys here.
Right. It's like there's just a mix. There's a miss of experience. Yes? That's level 2.
Yeah.
And then you've got the level 1s.
That was a scary one. But
The level 1s are the babies. These are the ones that have yet to experience a hurricane. That are
I'm gonna
here.
throw tourists in there as well.
Well, so the ones that just don't have, they have zero experience. They haven't been through anything, and a tropical storm is like
I'm leaving.
I'm
evacuating.
Like, I'm evacuating. I'm boarding up my house, and I'm leaving.
The level 5s laugh.
And the level 5s are like, what are you talking about? It's a hurricane party. I've got beer and food on the grill.
That's my point. Okay, so I pulled this up real quick because I wanted to see. Okay, is it crazy that I've never actually looked at the preparedness list?
So you actually you have it.
I have the preparedness list in front of me.
You didn't send it to me. I can't look at it.
Oh, you want to see it too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I can
okay.
look at it. Whoops.
So, and the actual title of the article is called "Build a Kit."
A Kit.
So we're gonna read this together because I actually haven't even seen it. It's from ready.gov.
Okay, wait.
So you can pull this up.
So can we say if we have the stuff
yes,
or not?
Yes, we're going to say if we have the stuff. But this is what I was going to say before that, is that I don't think I have ever looked at it. Gosh, right now I'm trying to think. I was 11 years old. I had just turned 11. Well, a couple months before when Hurricane Andrew passed by. So it was in my childhood. Okay. It was very impactful. It was, and even then, like we did not experience the devastation that areas like Homestead did. Okay.
Right.
But we lived through that.
Well,
right.
I'll share my
So-
story in a little bit.
But so since then, like there's always, you're waiting for this hurricane that is going to dethrone Andrew. And it's a horrible way to say it like that, but Andrew's the thing that everyone remembers. Okay? Irma came close to that. Irma was like the storm of storms, where we were supposed to be flooded in over 10 feet of water. I mean, it was supposed to be
Yeah, we were supposed to come back and not have a house.
right. Exactly. Like, yeah, you know, and I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but even then, you know, that's one of those that it's like, okay, the level 5s are like, wow, really? It's, you're saying it's bigger than Andrew. Like that gets a level 5's attention.
Yep.
Okay. But so looking at this list, right? Let's see. So you're supposed to have a kit that's ready to go. All right. With all of these things. So let's see. You're supposed to have 1 gallon of water per person per day for several days for drinking and sanitation. So let us see how many gallons of water we're supposed to have for the 3 people who live in our house.
So let's say 5 days?
Well, let's say 7. Let's say you're preparing for a week.
Okay, for a week. Okay, so 7, and it says 1 gallon a day. So that means we need 21 gallons
of water. We
of
do
water.
not have this
We
at
do
home.
not.
Does not pass.
We don't have 5 gallons of water.
We don't have, because we have 1 package right now of drinking, drinking water. 1.
Yeah, we don't have even 5.
No, we do not.
Okay.
At least a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. All right, so you just went to do groceries today, right? Non-perishable. Now you got to be careful with this because I say pasta's non-perishable, but if you've got no fire,
right,
you can't cook it. So we're talking about canned stuff or crackers. Bless you. Oh no, you're sneezing. No, you're just yawning.
Yep. Sorry.
I was getting ahead of myself there. But you went to the store today and you said we do not need any more cans of beans.
We have beans for 3 days.
So we do have this. We can check this off.
If we want to eat beans, yes. Well, there's tuna. I saw tuna in there too. And then there's like corn and other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It would be a weird mix, but we could survive.
We could survive for 3 days? Okay.
Yes. But hold on. I'm going to
Okay.
jump on the list a little bit.
Yeah.
Because do we have a manual can opener?
We do not.
Then we're screwed.
Wait a minute. I think if you're hungry.
Oh, wait. The canned beans, they have a little pop open.
We do. Yeah, but
So-
unless you have that. Come on. We couldn't open it with a knife?
I mean, listen, we'd figure out a way.
I think
We
we'd
have tools in there. We'll figure something out.
I mean, we'd figure something. We'd probably like die because we swallowed a sliver.
yeah.
of-
But we do
metal.
not have a manual can opener.
We do
Okay.
not. Wow. Okay.
right, go
So, battery powered or hand cranked radio and
what's
a
a
NOAA
radio?
weather radio with tone alert.
No.
Wait, they actually sell this stuff.
Yeah,
what is a
we
NOAA
actually-
weather
okay, hold
radio
on.
with tone alert?
You remember when I worked at CVS, that little radio that I brought that you pop like a little handle on the back and you're like,
I don't remember that.
You don't remember
Why
that?
did you bring it?
I think it was like discontinued. It got them for like
Why
a buck.
did we throw it away?
I don't think it worked.
Babe.
It was
You
horrible.
sound like my dad when he brought home the monitor of IBM that did not work.
It was like $1.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay, so they actually do sell this. Battery powered, I get. But what's a NOAA weather radio with tone alert? Interesting. It's connected directly with. And you know, this is interesting because nowadays, with everyone having cell phone, you count on, well, I can just use my cell phone.
Yeah, but the towers.
Right. If the towers don't work, you don't have service. All right. Flashlight.
Does the one on our phone count?
Right. So interesting, right? That the flashlight is something I think we can find, okay, but it is not very powerful and it is not checked often enough for me to know if it works.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to have a really powerful flashlight just because it's useful for when we're outside vacuuming the AC at 3:49 in the morning.
What are you talking about? There is a very amazing light out there.
So, yeah, it passes. Okay. A first aid kit. This I do have, actually.
Is it complete though?
It is complete. And the only reason, here's the funny part, the only reason that we have this is because they gave it to us with the car.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So, in our car, there is
yes,
an emergency
thank you,
kit.
Hyundai. We are hurricane prepared.
Oh, wait. So, we have 3 things out of this list? Okay. Extra batteries.
No.
No. Because the batteries we do have are just like double A's. We don't have anything for flashlights. Ooh, dust mask.
Wait, you skipped
I'm
whistle.
sorry. Whistle to signal for help. Oh,
Yeah, move on.
God.
Dust mask.
Wait, a whistle?
A whistle? What for? What?
Who's coming to help us?
Not my neighbor. He's still mad at us for being out at 3:49 in the morning with a shop vac.
A whistle. Wouldn't it be better for you to have a flare?
No, you're not in the ocean.
Okay, hold on a second. If you need help and you've gotten to the point where you need a whistle, I'm assuming you're on top of your roof and the water's about to take you.
Or the house has come down and all around you.
Oh, and they're looking for you. I think Californians would know more about that with all the earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah.
We are so level 5. We're laughing as we're
this
going.
is bad, guys.
This is bad.
Guys, for any of you who
Forgive
are
us.
new to hurricane preparedness, please take all of these things seriously.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Dust mask.
We completely support all of this. A dust mask. So for the dust, for the contaminated. Wait, how is the air contaminated?
I don't know.
What in the hell?
Look
what?
at the next one. Look at that. Plastic sheeting and duct tape to shelter in place.
Well, okay, this one actually does make sense. Okay, by the way, we don't have a whistle. We don't have a dust mask.
No.
We don't have plastic sheeting, and we do have duct tape.
No, we have plastic sheeting.
What?
The tarp.
What tarp? The one with holes?
No,
That's big enough for one person?
We can go into the chicken coop.
The chicken coop will be gone.
Yeah.
But that one actually does make sense because I'm thinking, even our house was flattened during Hurricane Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
This house that we live in right now, and it was rebuilt. But yeah, if you are in, it's hard for them to come get you for help and all that stuff. You know how it's still a little bit rainy afterwards sometimes. So yeah, this does make sense. There's a Mythbusters episode actually for the duct tape. They show you like how to survive with just duct tape. So interesting thing to look up. Go.
Moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties for personal sanitation.
Interesting that it's for
what
personal.
What do you need plastic ties for to personal sanitation?
Okay, so.
Oh, I get it.
You do?
Yeah. It's too difficult to tie a knot on the top of the garbage bag.
Okay, so I was going to say, I don't know which one of the children showed me this, but somebody was showing a hack that instead of you taking the bag of sandwich bread and making a knot on it, they were cutting the bag from the top, okay, straight down the middle up to like right before the bread is, and then tying it like shoestrings. And I'm thinking,
did the
really?
kids show you the video with the guy from the Dominican Republic? I don't know, from Brazil. That he has that like that face, so he's looking at you like, really? And then he just shows you can just grab the top of the bag and tie the same knot without making the cut.
I think that's the video that
Yes.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody showed me that. And it's one of those things where it's like, wow, okay, I guess for you who need plastic ties. I mean, okay. But yeah, garbage bags. So here's what I'm wondering, right? It doesn't say how many you need per day. So my visual of this is that, you're out for, let's say, 3 days, and you're carrying around your little sanitation bag with you for all of your
No.
moist towelettes.
Okay, moving on. Next one is wrench or pliers. We got those.
We have that.
No, can't. Okay, we already said no.
Oh, to turn off utilities.
Yeah.
Now, why would you need to do that?
So that if you have, like, let's say one of the water pipes is broken, you got water spraying in the house, you go out to the...
Ah, interesting. Okay.
We said
look.
no manual can opener.
None.
And
What?
local maps? What? Oh, what do you need a map for?
Okay.
It's not going to look like anything. If you're at the point where you need a map to get around, you probably aren't driving on streets.
Yeah, you're in a disaster movie. So I'm going to say something to ready.gov if they're listening. But that actually might be more helpful to say you should have a local map or local information, I guess, when it pertains to help resources. But maps? Or maybe directions to shelters or emergency centers. I don't know. And last one is
cell phone batteries with chargers and backup battery. That's what the car's for.
And we also do have batteries. Now, interestingly enough, there is additional emergency supplies.
Yes, but
right?
this one says add these following items based on your individual needs.
Right. And so, I mean, there's like a lot of this is just personal stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing I didn't see here, which I thought was interesting, was I didn't see anything for your pets.
Yeah. It's right in the middle. It says pet food and extra water for your pet.
Oh, no. I was talking in like emergency supplies. Like they didn't say anything about have food for your pet. I guess
that's what the additional is.
Yeah, additional. I'm surprised. That's what I'm saying. I'm
but it
surprised
says
they threw it in the additional.
Based on your individual needs.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a pet.
So another thing is, the reason they tell you to have so much water is because I'm surprised because the air gets contaminated. I don't know. I'm not an environmentalist to know that, but water does get contaminated. I remember during Andrew, they had orders that you needed to boil your water for a certain amount of time. And I remember my mom having to boil water in the gas grill outside, just to be able to have water, because we were not prepared at all. But anyway, just a little something, since it's the first day of hurricane season, and this runs for us through November. And like I said in last week's episode, I've been in a cave doing schoolwork, so I feel like I don't know anything about the outside world and what's going on.
You know that the first named storm already happened a couple weeks ago?
But wasn't that in the Pacific?
No.
It was here? Because I thought I saw something. I thought I had seen something. Okay, so yeah, I have no idea. So this is the first time I feel like I don't know anything about what's going on. Us personally, this is just a personal thing. We're not giving anybody advice. I feel like we need to insert "don't try this at home" thing, right? but us personally, it takes a level 5, a level 4,
level 4
that is showing like increasing in size to get us thinking about leaving our house. Because anything else, it's nothing. Like I don't even think we put up any shutters or anything for level 1.
The last couple times. Yeah, the last couple times we didn't. We kind of are just like, we'll be fine. Like we'll pick up the stuff in the yard and stuff.
Right. But we do. I mean, I do think that you've got people who don't take it seriously at all when they need to, because I do remember people that did not heed any warnings for Andrew, and it was grim. Like I remember I think there's even a video of this that you could possibly find where the newscaster was doing it was saying, like if you don't get out, like you could die,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, I know that people stayed behind, especially in the Keys.
Yeah.
Because no one had experienced anything like that. And I think
Well,
Andrew.
the Keys actually experienced a really bad
Yes,
hurricane.
but was
It was a no. Remember, it was the no name hurricane. They
right?
didn't
But
give it
how
a
many
name.
years before?
Yeah, a lot of people died though.
I know. There's a site. There's like a memorial for them.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Charlie? No, there was. There was. I mean, there's so many that have passed before, but that was the no name storm. But I'm saying, for people who have never experienced that, a lot of people did not heed any warnings. So, yeah, but it's interesting. I think that particularly in our neighborhood, when there is talks of a hurricane, people, like neighbors, are looking at neighbors to see, are you putting up shutters? So,
Yeah, it's funny.
You're putting up shutters, huh?
Everyone comes outside and they're just kind of like, oh, let's see what the next guy's doing.
Well, and it's funny because especially nowadays, I think in a world where people don't really talk to their neighbors as much, and maybe it's our world here in South Florida, right? Because there are communities, I think, that they do that, and our community waves and stuff, but that's pretty much it. You don't have long conversations. We talk to 3 of our neighbors who are directly in front and to either of our sides, and we have long conversations with them and stuff, but this is the time where you get to meet other neighbors you've never seen,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's outside putting up shutters. And one thing that I know we've been talking about is that we would love to do accordion. God, especially now that Michael's not
Yes.
here. God, please. Bless. You imagine you had to do that by yourself?
Yeah, it would be brutal.
Brutal. So
Brutal.
so yeah, that's one thing. So I remember when our friends, the Cooters, came down and lived here for 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
There was a storm coming during that time, and we were like, nah, it's fine, don't worry. And I remember she was like, are you sure? Like, wait, but like she was following the list. She had everything, especially like her husband's military, so he always had, remember his crash bag?
Yep.
And
So
he was
what level?
always prepared.
What level would you give the Cooters?
Well, but they're orderly, right? So I would, because we didn't actually talk about the ones who get prepared. So yeah, they would definitely be a 1 at that time,
Mm-hmm.
because they hadn't yet, experienced anything, but they prepared, they followed all the all of the recommended guidelines and everything. And I guess, like, as a Floridian who's been here forever, right? You look at that, and to me it was just like, wow. Wow.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Supposed to do. So
even with Andrew, so we were on vacation when Andrew, the whole thing was happening, and I remember we had to cut our vacation short
Where were you vacationing?
in Sarasota.
Okay.
We were in Siesta Beach, and we had to come home.
But how did you hear about it?
I think it was my mom came across it on the news, and then
Oh gosh.
And then,
So it's
yeah.
not like they were trying to close the beach down or anything.
oh no, and so we had to head home, and we went home early.
I'm surprised. Like, you're already out of the danger zone. Why go back?
Well, my grandparents were at home, and there was
Oh.
no preparation going on, so we went back, and I remember we put like tape on the windows, and I don't think we put up any boards, to be
We
honest
put up
with you.
tape as well.
I don't remember that. Anyways, so we
By the
were
way, do not put tapes on
Yeah.
your windows. That's such a terrible idea.
So we were sitting outside, as the storm starts to come up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember
Oh no!
what?
While the storm's going on.
No, not while the
okay.
storm.
Oh, okay.
As
Because
the storm,
that's how people get killed.
I know, but as the storm was coming,
Oh.
you start getting the changes and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff, and we were all kind of excited or whatever, and then we came inside during when it started to really pick up, and I remember sitting at the table. I was doing a puzzle. My grandmother is making, I think she was making either hot chocolate or café con leche. I don't know what it was. And all of a sudden, the roof on the kitchen just gets sucked up and out, just gone. My grandmother's in the kitchen. I'm sitting on the table, and my dad comes running in, grabs my grandmother, grabs me.
Wow.
I'm thinking, my puzzle, I'm almost done.
Kids.
It was, listen, I remember it vividly. It was a 500 piece Apache helicopter puzzle.
Oh, honey.
I never got to finish it.
Oh, did it fly away?
It wasn't there when we came back.
Oh, no.
So we went running back into the room.
Can you give me? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're fighting for a blanket. Miss Cold over there.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to stretch my legs.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we go running to one of the back rooms, and my parents had built an addition onto my grandparents' house, and that's where we were living. But we stayed over on my grandmother's side because she had a gas stove, and if we lost power, we could still, cook and whatever. Anyways, so we go running into this back room. We're in there now. It's me, my two sisters, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, and my two cousins that were living with my grandmother at the time. And it was the first time that I genuinely saw fear in my father's eyes and in my grandfather's eyes. And the door, like we were like in there, the mattress was up against the door. You could hear the wind howling. It was in the heavy part of the storm.
Did you hear the train?
Oh yeah, you hear the train. That's for sure. And all of a sudden, you see the door start like bowing because of the pressure. Because now there's an opening in the house, but there's no exit. So all that.
Do you know what kind of force? I'm sorry, because I remember the same thing. I remember looking at the door and seeing it bow.
Yeah.
Like it's like someone is pulling on it
Mm-hmm.
and not tearing off the handle. Not tearing off the handle. No, you're bending the door like a C shape.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's the craziest thing.
Like what kind of force?
You don't forget that.
No, and the train.
Yeah.
Like the people who lived through that, they remember hearing the train.
Mm-hmm. And so there like I don't know. I haven't asked my dad. I think I would ask him to see if like what was going through his mind at that moment or whatever. But I remember that there was just this genuine fear. And like, what are we gonna do? All these people are here. I'm responsible for all these people. I'm thinking this is what they were thinking. And all of a sudden, my grandfather starts like pounding on the wall, like looking for something. And I remember it finally clicking for my dad. And it was that there used to be a door that went to the outside in that room. But when they built the addition, they closed the door. So they were looking for where that was so that we could literally break through the wall and go into our side of the house. So they find where it's at, and bare-fisted, they break through the wall.
Wow.
Yeah. We crawl through a hole and go
What?
into our side of the house, going into my room, which was an addition that was done in the absolute center of the house. So there was no windows, no nothing. We go in there. Everyone crams in there. My bed goes up against the wall, blocking the door. And that's where we waited out the rest of the night.
So a lot of people who don't know about hurricanes, they are, there's this thing that they don't understand about the sides, right? And like there's the dirty side of the storm, and that's where you get, a lot of the tornadoes and a lot of the damage that happens. But the storm happens in 3 phases. You've got the initial hit, and then you've got that calm because you're in the eye of the storm at that moment. So it is the most eerie thing. I don't think you hear a bird. It sounds too quiet.
Yeah.
Everything is too still. And it's so weird. The sky is a different color. It's I can't explain it except like that.
Well,
But then that's really the most dangerous part, because out of nowhere, all of a sudden the next side of the storm comes, and you're supposed to change where you are in the house so that, and I don't know if it's
right, because it's the backside, so the wind goes a different direction.
right. So if you were in one side, unless you're in a place with no windows, you're supposed to switch sides and go to the next one. So we did end up moving, I remember. But so crazy with the storm. I mean, like, the most significant thing that I feel happened in with our family was that my dad only heard about it that same morning. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a Sunday morning that it hit.
No, it was Monday morning that it hit.
But my dad was home. So we have to look at it because it was August.
Well, I know that it was on Sunday because we watched Sunday Night Football. The Dolphins played the Chicago Bears in Chicago. It's just one of the random things I remember. But
Really?
And well, so like you were saying with the eye of the storm,
Wow, you're right. It was a Monday. So I don't know why my dad was home then. I wonder if he was on, because my dad never took a day off. And that,
well, he was home on Sunday.
No. That's what I meant to say, was that he heard about it on Sunday from his mother. Okay? So it was Sunday he was home because it hit in the middle
overnight.
Overnight. So that's why it hit. It's considered that it hit on Monday. But Sunday was the day he heard about it. And so we ended up putting tape as well because there was no more plywood left, because that's what people were putting. If you didn't have shutters, you put up plywood. And we got 1 gallon of water for the entire family. No food. Nothing. Okay. So the most significant, the two, besides, we already talked about the blowing of the door and the train, right? The most significant thing that I remember was that the big tree that we had fell into the house. And see, for me, like, never living through a storm like that either, you mentioned like there was a little bit of excitement. As kids, I think that kids, parents, I think sometimes are so grim and serious with what's going on, because rightly so, it's a serious, scary situation for them. But sometimes, like, kids are joking around and making fun, and parents can forget the fact that kids, they don't understand that, right? And plus, they feel super safe because you're there and you're going to take care of them. I felt super safe. My dad was there. Okay, he's got it. It's fine. Not a problem, right? But before the storm hit, the owner of the house, because we were renting at that time, the owner of the house begged my father, please evacuate. Because here's what people have to know about hurricanes. They tell you it's going to hit in this place. But when the storm actually hits, it can be a little bit south, it can be a little bit north. And so the eye that was supposed to go right over us, because it was supposed to come right over us, move south into the Homestead area and completely
leveled Homestead, including
Homestead.
the house that we're
I
in
mean,
now.
there is video. All you have to do is YouTube what happened in Homestead during Hurricane Andrew, and it is leveled. It's such a sight to see. But he begged him, please leave with your family. Please come with me. Go somewhere.
How different would our stories be if it would have hit where it was supposed to?
I mean, you don't even know. You don't even know what that would have been like. So
my grandmother was down in the Redland Homestead area.
I remember that.
And my grandfather, he always had cars that he would buy and fix up and then sell, and buy and fix, sell. And the shingles came off of the roofs of the house. It was these Spanish tile, those big shingles.
Oh, yeah.
And the cars were riddled with them. It looked like someone was firing bullets at the cars. Like the cars were all totaled destruction because these Spanish tile shingles got slammed right into the side. So,
Wow.
but yeah, so
But I was gonna say the guy, right? He came down here to Homestead to stay with his sister so that he could escape the storm. Okay. By the time the storm was over, don't ask how, right? They ended up, as parts of the house start flying away, they end up hiding in a closet, all crammed up in there. And when it was done, the closet was the only thing that was left standing.
and that's such a typical story of somebody.
Yeah, you hear that all the time. How is that the only place?
I remember. Well, so when the storm passed, what we thought was we had gone into the eye of the storm was actually the storm passing through because it had shifted down south so much. And when we stepped outside of the house, the roof from my grandmother's kitchen was now sitting in the front yard of our neighbor across the street. And you could just see like the devastation down the street. It was insane. And when we finally realized, okay, we're safe, we're past the worst part of the storm, I remember us getting in the car and driving around to look at the area around us, and it was there was so much damage, and we weren't even in one of the areas that was a direct hit.
So I just looked this up right now, right? Because Andrew was a Category 5, which is the highest category of hurricanes, right? A Category 5 is supposed to be 157 miles per hour for wind or higher. You can expect catastrophic damage to occur. Okay? It says high percentage of framed homes will be destroyed. Total roof failure, wall collapse, fallen trees, power outages will last for weeks, possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months. Andrew hit us at 174 miles per hour. Well, they say that there should be a Category 6 to put Andrew in.
So it should be. They say that it was more than 170.
It gives me chills.
It said it was actually more than 100. Was 174?
Mm-hmm. That's what's recorded.
That's what's recorded because at 174,
their barometer, their things won't read anymore.
The wind reader that was on the top of the NOAA building got ripped off. So there's no more readings after that. And the storm hadn't even hit full impact. But and for
people I think who lived in Louisiana, they experienced Katrina, mm-hmm. right? And Katrina was supposed to hit us. Andrew was not supposed to hit us. Andrew was actually supposed to hit New Orleans.
Right.
And then it deviated and hit us instead, just like Katrina was supposed to hit us, and it deviated and hit them instead. But, I mean, people remember the stories from Katrina because it happened a little bit later. But it's chilling to think about that. So, for people who've survived that, who lived through that, right? And for us, I know we were without power for 4 weeks at least. And it was because of my parents' friends that we were able to have food. There was looting. I mean, people were driving around with guns.
Yeah.
Taking turns watching their homes with shotguns.
Well, I remember. So
that's scary. That's like end of the world stuff.
When we went around, we started looking afterwards. I remember my mom had a video camera, and we actually caught your house. I think
I wish you had that video.
I know. I don't know who has it. I think my aunt has that video. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my mom, see if maybe she knows. But you see your house.
Wow.
You see the tree that you're talking about up against.
What is that tree now that you know about trees? It's ficus?
I think it was a ficus. But you see that tree up against the house where it fell on their
Enormous root
roof.
system.
Hmm. And we were like, wow, this is incredible. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then we drove down
To see your
to
grandmother?
my grandmother's house. And the devastation that we saw driving down Chrome Avenue was something else. I mean, houses were completely just gone, and just the frame of the house with a toilet on the second floor. Everything else was gone. Um, Animals displaced in places that they shouldn't be. Horses just roaming around. It was end of the world. It was the craziest thing.
One thing I've never searched for, and I have no idea what the death toll was for that, especially with people who Miami Beach. You
I don't
know,
think Miami Beach got affected as much though. It's further
well,
north.
but the coastline, the
Yeah.
people on the beaches. I mean, I know that's further north, but I know that there's people who didn't heed, and I
Mm.
know that even the people, I remember actually listening to, I want to say it was Channel 10, that they were on the radio, and they said that they had moved to the basement of their studio and that they would continue to report on the storm for as long as that they had power and they were able to. And they had somebody from their news crew out on the
Yeah,
road.
those people are crazy.
I mean, wow. I mean, think about storm chasers. Without them, though, people, I don't know why you want to report on a storm, I guess. I guess in case you have family there and I don't know. But their safety, wow. Wonder if they get hazard pay.
No, I don't
For
think so. I think
don't
those
know.
people they're thrill seekers.
Yeah.
One of the cool things that we did get to experience though. So my cousin's grandparents, on my aunt's side, right? They had a farm out in the Redlands, but it was a good sized farm, good area where the National Guard actually set up their tents for food distribution.
I
And
wonder how does that conversation go? Ma'am, we're occupying your land.
that's exactly how it goes.
Wow.
I would not doubt that listen, in a situation like that where you have a natural disaster, come take my land, please. I know I'm going to eat. I know I'm going to be safe,
Yeah.
you know, but they had a big enough open field where the helicopters were landing.
Wow. How
And yeah, so we got to be there, during a lot of the stuff that was going on. And I remember we got a lot of like really cool stuff. Like we got the fold out cots, and food was abundant, beyond, National Guard going around. They were all holding rifles, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm like, whoa, this is cool. We got to see the helicopter up close, and these were active members of our military, here, protecting,
for a kid,
everything that was going on.
for a kid, it's a completely different experience than the adults experienced. I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You got to think about it. In Homestead, there was the Air Force Base, which was completely devastated and gone.
I don't think it ever recovered after that.
It never did. It got moved, and now it's an Air Reserve base.
Right.
I think they're talking about making it another base again, an active base, but it's never been the same since. But it was, as a kid, the backside of that, you're like, wow, there was so much cool stuff that was going on all around us, and we got to experience some of that firsthand because of the National Guard being in that space. But I thought that was a good memory in that craziness.
Yeah.
But my grandmother had to redo her entire house, and
Yeah.
our house required a lot of repairs, and I'm sure yours did too.
Yeah, and I was thinking about how um the to me it was I don't remember how long entirely it took to cut down that tree into bits. Okay. I remember my dad did have help, so there must have been some men who came over and helped him. But for whatever time it was there, it was like being to me, it was like being in the forest. That's what I imagine being in the forest was like, because we're talking about. I remember and mind you, I was 11, so everything looks a lot bigger when you're a kid, right? But that root system, it was as high as the roof of my house, possibly higher, because it felt like with grass and everything. It's like someone picked up the tree,
Well,
took it out,
those trees are
left a
so
crater.
yeah. It's all the roots are all sitting on surface.
So for playtime, oh my gosh, you've got a crater. Okay, so asteroid, right? Immediately, like it's a crater, right? And then you've got like all of this root system that's so cool to look at in a tree, and then all of the branches. It was like it was hugging our house, and just running through it, and it was so exciting. I hadn't yet thought about the fact that the tree would be gone. It was just exciting at that time, right? And then the other thing was, I think, just the disruption of everyday life. Like at night, we had to have candles because we didn't have flashlights. So you'd have to walk around with a candle. Chores are disrupted. Like school is disrupted. It's like you're on vacation. My mom would cook, and then I remember, and I may be saying this wrong, but I know that for a while she had a gas stove. I don't know if she had the gas stove during Andrew or not, or where were we cooking. But I do know that she was making stuff. I know we ate cans for a while. Well, actually, it must have been still electric because I think it was because of Andrew that she got a gas stove because we didn't have electricity. But I remember having to take the dishes, whatever was used for dishes, in a bucket outside to use the hose to wash dish by dish, wash it out right, and then put it back in the bucket and bring it in clean. And I imagined that I was Laura Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie, and it was so amazing. Like, please me, I'll do the dishes. It was so exciting, And meanwhile, our parents are thinking, what are we gonna do? I do remember being told that they had come to say that if the tree had fallen towards the street instead of towards the house, that part of our house would be gone because the root system was underneath. Exactly. So you're talking about foundation having to be, a whole side of the house needs to be rebuilt, So thankfully, only the roof part where the tree like crashed into that back room was what needed to be fixed, essentially, from our house. But yeah, so I'm thinking like if we were to say really important key things, if you're going to be like a lifelong Floridian, which I feel like we're going to be, right? What are essential things that you need to have in order to get by all right for a hurricane? I say you need a generator. A generator fixes a lot of issues. Okay.
You're just thinking about having your AC.
I am thinking about having the AC, but also like how much food goes to waste when your refrigerator goes out. Okay, so
Don't excuse.
This is my pitch for us getting a
we didn't
a generator.
Hold on. We didn't have power for Irma when we got back. Okay. Right? Remember?
I remember.
Yeah. What was the first thing we had to get set up?
Oh my gosh. Wait, what was the hurricane I talked about before?
Irma.
For the levels. And then what else? Wilma, yeah. What? What's the first thing we had to get set up? Listen. Do you know?
I had to figure out how to put in.
It was the most miserable time of my life. That's all I have to say.
There was no AC.
There was no AC. I will be, if anyone wants to see me at my worst, no AC. Okay? Next thing that I think is important is a gas stove.
Or a grill.
Yeah, but currently our grill has no gas. So what good is that? I mean, like, even to get gas for your grill, the lines are so long. Okay, and it's usually you show up and it's like, sorry, we ran out.
Well, we just need to go get gas for the grill.
Yeah. So, actually, when they say a hurricane's coming, it's gonna be like a level 3 or whatever. That's the one thing that I do. I get water, but just like a couple of things of water, because anyway, it's gonna be used, right? Gas for the grill.
Gas for the car.
Gas for the car. Literally, that's it. Nothing
and
else.
Some canned stuff. If even.
Okay, but
we're gonna live off the land.
But what else do you feel
Poor
like?
chickens aren't gonna make it.
What else do you feel like is you're good? Because I think with those two things, you're pretty good.
For me, I need. Let's see, all the stuff that I need so my chainsaws work, and gas and mixing oil, because I'm about to get paid.
No. I'm talking what?
It's my business.
Actually, I mean, for you and your business, a hurricane coming means I won't see you.
It means there's gonna be
a long days.
We'll be able to buy 2 generators if you want. One for just your AC.
I just want the one.
One for the AC and one for the fridge.
Oh my goodness, the things that I am content with.
No boy.
But, I didn't think that this episode was going to be like a hurricane episode. I hope we have not.
It ended up being that.
I didn't realize we were going to talk about it so much, but there's just so much stuff, that's
well,
the memories and the things that we went through.
Here, I'm gonna.
That list was funny.
I just thought about this, so I'm gonna use it. So if we didn't blow you away with
don't get blown away.
Don't get blown away.
That would be the last thing. The 2 questions I had at the beginning. Do you prefer to watch a certain station? Especially I'm talking to people in South Florida, because people in South Florida, you can get your news from WSVN 7, from NBC 6. I don't know if 10, I think it's just channel 10.
ABC.
Oh, no, ABC is like that, but that's not their news thing.
What's channel 4?
And then 4 is just
NBC, CBS.
No, I know that's CBS, but it's like WF4. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. WFOR.
WFOR is 4, but then what is 10? 10 has something.
WPG.
Do you know what I realized that those are for?
WLPG.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Am I right?
You are right. Yes. Look it up, but I'm pretty sure you're right. But do you think
WPLG?
Dang it.
So close.
But that was very good. Okay.
Good.
So those are the 4 places that you can get your weather. Okay, and they are going to do extensive weather reporting. Now, do you think
WPLG.
that stuff?
I have a radio voice when I do that.
No, stop. Listen. Do you think it's because it's for the radio?
What?
All those initials?
No, it's just the call.
Because it's not ABC.
It's the call. What is it?
Call letters.
Call letters.
But what are call letters for? For the station.
For the station.
But for radio station?
Well, because there's other Channel 10 news throughout the United States.
Oh, maybe. Okay. That makes sense. But is there a place that you prefer to get your weather news from?
As much as I hate to admit it.
Because I know what you're going to say.
Channel 7.
WSVN 7. Yes, I agree. And why is it that we hesitate to say that? It's
because they're so there's I can only think of the way I can describe it is in Spanish. It's paquete.
Oh my goodness.
It is
no, it's like, didn't you call level 3?
They're level 3. WSVN 7. I know, listen, if there is somebody from WSVN 7
We like you guys.
Listen, we like you guys.
We only listen to you guys for the weather.
But you guys are level 3.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen. They will go ahead and say, we are seeing flooding already. Mind you, the bands are just starting to come in. Bands coming in is hours before the hurricane even hits. You're talking about like dirty rain. I like to call it that way because it's like hitting you from the left and the right and straight and completely sideways. And it's like we're getting flooded over here, and the camera pans to him standing in a puddle.
or they're like, the wind gusts are already at 40 miles an hour, and
There's
they're
a
like,
palm frond.
there's a yeah.
Do you want to know how many times a palm frond? Do you want to know how many times a palm frond falls off here when there's a little gust of wind?
We just had a couple weeks back. There was like 3 or 4 days of wind. And
it was so bad.
I had so much extra to have to pick up in the communities that we take care of. There was just palm fronds everywhere.
I'd say so. That's.
Anyways.
We've seen it. So anyway, yes, I wonder if people have like a favorite for that. For us, it is Channel 7 News, their hurricane tracker, all of their stuff. So we'll be tuning in if need be, which I hope is not. As a parent, I just want to say, as a parent, it's not exciting as an adult. I think as a homeowner, it's not exciting at all to think about a hurricane hitting. You don't want that to happen. But yeah, I still can appreciate the fact that as a child, it was an experience.
Yeah. Anyways, that was interesting to go back and talk about Andrew and all the stuff that was during that, because we were a block and a half away from each other. We went through 2 different experiences, and that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Anyways, share with us. Tell us what level, what category level Floridian are you if you are in Florida? And if you are listening to us from anywhere else in the United States, then you've been dubbed a 1 because you have no experience with hurricanes. But you can come visit us and
we didn't do the results of the poll.
Oh yes, go.
So the poll was whether you like the AC turned down cold or you like it at a moderate temperature, which to me is warm. Okay, but not warm, but just, I don't like the house cold. We overwhelmingly, the answer was cold.
Weird people in this one. What? Why?
I win.
Why? No, you don't.
Why?
Just because other people like that.
They
too.
agree with me.
No, that's their personal preference.
Oh no, it's a personal preference.
It is a personal preference
gosh.
that I have to pay for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, hey guys, we'll be back next week with some more fun topics and so much to share. There's it's incredible how much we have to talk about. It just every single week.
We've been talking for 21 years, and none of our conversations are repeated.
No.
That's so weird.
Well, maybe we've repeated it a couple times.
Yeah.
We're now that we're both 40.
Things we're becoming forgetful, huh?
Yeah. Anyways, join us next week. And if you know someone who would enjoy listening to our ramblings, share the podcast with them. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any suggestions, go to our website at thisandthatchat.com or send us a message on Instagram. So that's it. That's all I got. I'm blown away here.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.